honor you, Blessed Mother Almighty, creators of all that is, creator of all that is. I honor this blessed day, Vendredi, in honor of the beautiful great goddess. Thank you for all that you do for me and we. Thank you for all that you do for mankind, known and unknown. I honor you. I honor you, Cosmic Mother. Thank you for governing the heavens, known and unknown. Your love is felt by me and we. Thank you, Cosmic Mother. I honor you, Elemental Elder of the water, fire, air, spirit, ether. Each and every one of you are an integral part of me and we. And you are and have helped, continue to help, nourish, protect us in ways that we need and want, that I need and want. Thank you, each and every one of you. I honor you. I honor you, my matriarchs of my left side and my right side. The walk here this lifetime, I have not been alone. And it is because of you that I'm here in the way that I be, with dignity and honor. Thank you so much for all that you have done and continue to do for me and we. I honor you. I honor you, my patriarchs of my left side and my right side. Your love, your support, your protection, and the ashe and medicine that you bless me and we with. I'm grateful. I honor you, my patriarchs of my left side and my right side. I honor you, my winged and my four-legged elders, guards and guardians be. Your blessings, your protection, your love and care is present, is prominent. I love you. Thank you for all that you do, known and unknown, to care for us. I honor you, my guards and guardians of Fae, my kin of Fae. I honor, walk with you, love and laughter with you, and more. Thank you for all that you mean to me and we. Balikao. I honor you, my starry relatives. From distance afar, near you are in my heart. My starry relatives, in the various shades and hues that you be. I honor each and every one of you. I love you. Thank you for your support, your guidance, the insight, and thank you for remembering me and helping me remember my true place from whence I come. I honor you, my starry relatives, my galactic allies. you, Great Mother, Earth, in whose womb I am cared for, and in ways that a mother cares for a child, you do for me and we. Thank you. Thank you so much for all that you mean to me and for all that you do to provide and nurture and nourish. Thank you, Madre Tierra. I love you. I honor you. I honor you, my higher self, my oversoul. Your brilliance amazes me, baffles me, befuddles me sometimes, and other emotion here and there. My higher self, thank you for gracing the journey and for volunteering for us to be here in this time. I'm grateful that you've and continue to do what you do here and there, then and now, for me to be free, at peace, and with what is the truth. I love and I honor you, my oversoul, my higher self. Malika, Ikalanum. The journey that be of walking with spirit and becoming that which is true, and in becoming, resting in spaces that is, which they call the mystery. I honor the journey of the sacred, of walking with the sacred. I honor you, and I honor you, the blessed mystery. I honor you, the journey of becoming, and I honor you, the sacred. I honor each and every one of you that has taken the time and moment out of your day to tune into this recording. May this teaching, sharing, find you well in ways that you need and want. Here on Healthy Accord, the ideal goal is heal thyself accordingly to the rules of nature, to the rules of the cosmic universe and our universe here on earth. Heal thyself to the various accords, agreements that be. Heal thyself accordingly. When they spoke to me in the ways that they were speaking, which is what this video is about, let's just start there. This recording, this teaching, this sharing is about spirit guides, spirit ancestors. What is spirit guides? What are spirit guides? What is spirit ancestors? I intend to share about that topic as it applies to my journey, what was felt, what I felt into in the various steps and progresses that I went to years past. And so what that means is it likely would be limited because it is from my purview. So I encourage you to, with whatever that might stand out to you as I'm about to speak on to that topic, whatever that will stand out to you, feel free to seek counsel elsewhere, seek guidance, teaching elsewhere to elaborate on whatever stands out to you in that way. So with first glaring uh, with first glaring point, spirit guides in the small chunk that I listed in the honoring that I was doing when this video started. Well, that is part of what I'm going to speak on. The many life forms, elders, ancestors, higher beings that were acknowledged. There's a whole long list. There's a whole long list. So, but that is part of it. That's it. That's it right there. That is your glaring example. That's the word that I was looking for. Glaring example. The glaring example is the honoring that I just did. That's who they can be and are. My journey started, and of course, the first place it started from was from my African ancestry. It is, I'll leave that talk out of this because something else wanted to come up. My African ancestry came up, and it took me a minute, okay? It took me a minute to acknowledge African ancestors as that which we call or we point to when we are looking for angels. Like, yeah, looking for angels, because the media and things external of us has depicted and shown to us what we should be accepting and what we shouldn't be accepting. It is most also unfortunate that it took me that long of a time to accept them, the external factors that I was, that was trying to keep me entrenched in their lives were depictions from movies and films and narratives of what they depicted African ancestors to be. Thankfully, the journey of awakening opened my eyes to them. They, the matriarchs, I started to experience them in dreams. And the beautifulness of spirit guides, well, the ones that did incarnate in this lifetime, like experience Earth or other parts thereof, when they appear to me, they appear like how I am dressed, but in their African garb, with the hair tie, or sometimes with the colorful lapa, just as I am put together. Sometimes they're put together, or however they will want to be, they started to appear to me in that way. And I honor you in this moment. Thank you, Blessed One, when you did come to me in that way. When she was around me, this one African spirit guide of mine, when she was around me, she's regular. And when I say regular, I want to clarify to say the depiction of spirit guides, having wings or a certain complexion, well, I did not and have not experienced my African spirit guides in any winged form. I have seen, many African matriarchs now here in the physical, how they dress. You have seen how we dress in the colorful printed garbs, the head tie, done up. They don't go that extreme with the big head tie. It's just a simple head tie, very elegant. Um, and I've experienced some where they all just sat at the table. I wouldn't even. Some things need to be kept private, but they were just all at the table. And they had the necklaces that you would see that is astute and recognizing that the lady is of a certain echelon in the spirituality, like the necklace, the beads, that is the beads with the many colorfulness that it comes with. So they were all seated at the table, and I was there, dressed how I was dressed, and they were all dressed very fine, and I was not. So I'll just leave that part out of it. But having experienced them in the beginning of my journey, experienced them that way, I started to get more confident, and I started to just erase and remove any other impressions that external forces wanted to tell me what spirit guides should look like. I started to remove that because my experience of them in the dream time, in vision, wasn't any such. So I started to get more confident, and the more that I got confident, I noticed they came around often in dream states, to me. And thankfully, in that way, as I clear my heart space of any of those lies and illusions, I noticed they started to come more around me in the dream, in visions. And thankfully, warnings, foretellings were told, and I was able to prepare myself for the months ahead. I was able to prepare myself on how to navigate certain activities that I should be doing or shouldn't be doing, and how to just behave here in the physical present, in the physical world, that is. So, spirit guides can be and are your regular, degular people, like people that lived once, many, who knows, however many eons ago. They can be and are. And I say that and also acknowledge my Caucasian guards and guardians. I have African that look very African, melanated guards and guardians, elders, spirit guides. And I also have Caucasian spirit guides. And they too came to me in the way that they did. And I was like, oh, okay. So this is the thing. There are both. Okay. I accepted that. And that's what I want to share, because that was my journey. That is my experience of spirit guides. They can be your national or national looking. Our native people. Let me just put it that way, okay? What country were you born in? And should you investigate or research up on where your lineage extend to, you would be privy into the many nationalities and that they possibly can be and are. So my spirit guides African and Caucasian. So I'm confident there. I am of and from both sides. I accept both sides. I acknowledge and honor both sides. As the journey then progressed, and they engaged with me, interacted with me, another big part of the ancestral journey that I needed to remove the lies from has to do with the beautiful beings of the water. The beautiful beings of the water, the life forms of the water. There are many stories that are told of them, some of them lies, some of them untrue, false true, half truths, and all of that. The beings that we call mermaids and such, and in the African diaspora, certain region, people call them mami wata. For the longest time on my journey of walking with spirit, something about that kept coming up, and I needed to confront that because the external portrayal and narration of my ancestors of the waters, the portrayal are lies, the portrayal are smearing, are just terrible. Terrible. So I kept some distance from peeking into that part of the lives of the water, the beings that be. You call them mermaids, mermen. In parts of Africa, they are called mami wata. I went through a spiritual journey passage, if you will, and life of the waters, the life that be of the waters. I was able to get to the other side in passage through the waters because of them. I awakened in their arms where they held me, and in holding, there is care, there is healing there. When we are coddled by that which loves us, when that vision, dream, trance, passage, whatever that experience was in this lifetime, when I awakened to that, I saw them differently, and I kept that in my heart. I kept that to myself. Little did I know, spirit is beautiful. Little did I know that in this lifetime, the place that I reincarnated, the tribe that I reincarnated to, there is a specific river that is revered. The people there, the native people there, they revere that particular river. Certain things are not done there, and they follow the rules and regulations that has been passed down onto them from generations about how to interact with that river. So it was upon my journey to back home, and then my sister said what she said to me. She was like, oh yeah, it is our law, we do not eat certain stuff from the water. And she was like, yeah, when I was a little girl, they took me there. I was standing there and I saw, and there are certain fishes, and she was like, their hair is braided just like us, and they are so beautiful. Mind you, I never told my sister anything about what I experienced in the spiritual realm of being held by the beings of the waters. I didn't tell her any of that. So basically what was happening is a confirmation and acknowledgement. When she told me of her experience, I didn't go on to tell her my experience because I was just like, wow. I was like, wow. And that's how spirit works in my experience. We can experience them and then keep it to ourselves just to protect that sacred. But then others around us, for some reason, will tell us something that further confirms the truth, the care, the reality of their beingness. So my sister said that, and I smiled in my heart because I'm like, oh wow. Oh wow. So, spirit ancestors, spirit guides are beings of the waters. There are fishes in the water. There are many lives in the water. So I'll leave that there. I came to acknowledge and accept that the life of the water is my ancestors, are my ancestors, in the shapes and forms that they be. They are my ancestors. And on the water trend, it was much, much later on the journey. Again, Spirit is like, don't forget. Yes, you honored and you acknowledge the life in the water. How about water itself? The Japanese writer, I am forgetting his name right now, and for for time, I, I could look it up on my phone, but many of you know of this writer, so I'm just going to put it up here. Oh God, he's from Japan. Goodness, I was looking at the book last night. Ah, okay. Masaru Emoto, The Hidden Messages in Water. Okay, I found it. The Hidden Messages in Water was the book that Spirit guided me to reading. When I was navigating the journey again, I stumbled upon a book written by a African elder, Elder Malidoma Samay, and you know, when the shaman that he is said what he said in his book, it further confirmed and affirmed, okay, child, you are on the right path. You are doing good. But something he said in that book, as it applies to water, now makes me always have a glass of water beside me when I am in meditation or when I'm doing this teaching, sharing. Elder Malidoma Somé said, yeah, he likes to have a glass of water with him, beside him, because it has a cooling properties, it communicates and can help balance the energy. And when he said that, something lit up. Something lit up. I went on the web, and upon searching, that's when I found the book, The Hidden Messages in Water by Masaru Emoto. And when I read that book, the descriptions, I was like, whoa, water can hear. And that changed everything for me as it applies to water. So, two shamans helped me acknowledge and bring water closer to my heart, a Japanese shaman and an African shaman. So now, water is an ancestor, water is a spirit guide. It is not just, a nourishment that I receive, it is an ancestor, it is a spirit guide. In addition to the life within the water, our ancestors and can be and are spirit guides. In addition to my African great 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 grandmama, great 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 grandpapas from eons past, they are spirit guides and can be spirit guardians, spirit ancestors. Continuing on that trend, I was just like, oh, this is great, as it was, because what I'm sharing with you is where my life was that resemble confusion, that resemble shambles, that resemble distortion, and just don't know left from right, can't see ahead or back, like just stuck and in pain, feeling miserable. The more that I communicated with these various spirit guides and acknowledgement and acceptance followed in my heart of them, with them, I understood left from right. I could see weeks ahead. No, literally. I could see a year ahead, the month ahead. I knew I was good. Whatever that was happening around me that looked like confusion and shambles, I knew I was going to be just fine because they started to speak to me. They started to speak to me. So I was just fine. The journey progressed from there. Awareness of water from these two shamans, and I progressed on. And somewhere along in that phase, I was led to pick up another book. They do this, by the way. Your grandmamas and your grandpapas from eons past are communicating with you. Your reading materials starts to become expansive and beautiful and helpful and nourishing. It is not that dark, drab or boring. It just becomes very, very nice, very nice. So I was led to pick up another book about animal totems, animal speak. And upon picking up that book, I did a couple of meditation, and one instance I went in just once. I was like, let me just try this, you know? Let me just try this. No expectation whatsoever. Absolutely none. I went in and set the intention, oh, I would like to see who are my two animal spirit guides in this moment. And two of them were just like, here we are. They were just like, yeah, here we are. I'm just like, I woke up, I sat on the couch. I'm just like, oh, that was fast. Oh man, that was fast. They are fast. Let me just pause and they are fast. And the more that I engage with them, I am not crying. Incense is doing what it's doing. They're fast. Spirit guides, spirit ancestors are fast. They move fast. You want manifestation, actualization happening in your life. If you are ready for them, be ready. If you are ready for them, be ready, because they just move fast. I'll just say that and leave it there. So I just sat up, acknowledged, and when I was done being, I don't know what the emotion was, but I was just shocked. And then I just laughed at myself. So when those two appear, a whole suit followed in the dream, because when I did the meditation, they came via that trance and I was able to see them. They were like, ta-da, here we are. And then few days later in a dream state, trance, I don't know, it was a lucid dream, let's just say it. Yeah, it was lucid dream. In that lucid dream, a whole slew of them came through and I was like, oh, okay then, I am now aware of you all. So the journey started to get more lush that way. And now I was like, okay, great. My ancestors, spirit guides, extends to animals too. It progressed on. I, Father God, introduced and shown that my spirit guides and ancestors extends to the winged ones. Extends to the winged ones. they just started to become very comfortable around me. They're just like, yeah, so you were asking about us? Now you want to listen? Yeah, I'll leave that part out. The part that I'm choosing to leave out, I guess I can share about. I don't know where I was in Maryland, like what city I lived in, but I was at work and I felt like this particular bird had a beef with me, and it was just like, eh. And I'm just like, what did I do? Likely, they were most likely doing all they can to get my attention about something, because I kid you not, when I lived in Maryland, when I remember in that particular instance where the bird was, where I felt like I was being attacked by a bird, my life was in shambles. My life was in shambles. I was in pain, unhappy. The attacks were just coming from every way it could, and it was making its way through in the past. In that, yeah, it was making its way through. So I guess that was spirit's way, my spirit guides, the winged ones. It was their way of wake up already, you know, type of alarm they were meaning to send. So as the journey progressed on, I had beautiful encounters in the daytime, in the waking sun hours. Beautiful encounters with the winged ones, the various forms that they be, encountering them. And then I was like, oh wow, I just thought it was, you know, a bird being a bird when it came close to me in the way that it did and lingered. I just thought, well, maybe this bird just liked that I'm singing or I'm doing this particular thing that I was doing. Or when the butterfly just sat very close to me and didn't move for a long time, I just thought, I guess it wants company and I'm it, so sure. I didn't think much of those encounters until it glaringly just sat on my toe, one of my big toes. It was like, I'm sitting right here and I'm not moving. I was just like, it sat there for a long time, and I think it was getting very comfortable on my toe, this beautiful butterfly. And I was like, shouldn't you be going right now? I think you're falling asleep and snoozing on my toe. But I had to shoo it off because it was just there. It didn't want to move. So, well, that was the ignorance when I say I shoo it off, because I was uncomfortable that my ancestor was wanting to be close to me. And that in itself speaks volumes. The journey progressed from there. The winged ones beautifully showed to me, yes, we are here for you too, and we are with you. We are your ancestors, in whom so I do acknowledge and accept. Journey progress on. Please do see my honoring video on Fae, the fairies, because it was shortly around that phase of the awakening when the winged ones started to come around me and the four-legged, started to come around me. It was shortly thereafter that Fae also, helped me awaken to the fact that they too are ancestors and guides and guardians, and they are my ancestors. They're my ancestors. So I did share a whole bit on it. Please do see that. With all of this awakening to the various ancestors that I'm naming, I refrain from delving deep into the online search phase, because like I said, you all do know the smear, the fear mongering, and a whole lot of other things, rubbish, a whole lot of other rubbish that they put in there is meant to distort. It's meant to literally, I believe, keep us away from sanity, from peace. And little did I know, the bird coming at me in such an intense way was meaning to alert me, because I was in pieces. I was in pieces. No matter the clothing or the fake smile that I tried to wear, whatever it was that I tried to distract myself of, I was in pieces where I was. So awakening to them brought me to peace. P-E-A-C-E, peace. It brought me to peace. And they around me are still healing, helping, and supporting me in the many ways. So, of course, the journey elevated, and it is continuing to elevate from there, because for the many times in my childhood that I felt the wind that blows, the wind is a being, is alive. Some of you that are who you are and you're gifted with what you're gifted with, you have heard the wind before. You have heard it. So you know. So I'll just leave that there too and add on to say, yes, the invisible being that we know as the wind, when the wind blows, the wind is an ancestor, a spirit guide. And I came to another beautiful juncture of the journey to understand and have an appreciation of deities in the form of Mother Mary, deities, beings, Angel Gabriel, Jesus Christ, deities, these angelic beings, Mother Mary, Jesus Christ, Angel Gabriel, while I was in divination. Some of the priestesses that practice what they do, they opened my eyes to that. They opened my eyes to that. There is respect and reverence there. So, however I am not a Christian, I acknowledge. Because I interact with some Christians, and there is love there. There is love there. There is love there. There is truth there. It can be. It can be. As it applies to spirituality and nature, as it applies to nature and spirit guides, additionally so, I awaken to the fact that the beautiful tall giants, sometimes they come in the shape of shrubs and flowers and herbs, greens, leafy greens and vegetables. I awaken to the fact that they too are ancestors and spirit guides. And as I dug further, a little bit deeper, I read and heard in certain spaces that yes, there are some humans that do communicate as in you and me, humans, how we communicate. There are humans that communicate with trees, humans that communicate with the water, with all animals. Some humans communicate with birds. Awakening to the fact of these ancestors, spirit ancestors, who are guides and guardians in the spirit form, it just made my heart felt light and full at the same time. Like a cup would be full. It just felt good to know that. Awakening to trees. Oh, spirit. Spirit wants you to not. Spirit wants you to be free. Let's just say it that way. Spirit wants you to be free. Spirit wants you not to be caught. Not to be caught in the storm, basically. Spirit wants you to be free. Like, what I'm experiencing, and I can speak to truthfully, is that they're not interested in giving you 90%. They're interested in giving you 100% plus when it comes to freedom of you. 100% plus. They do not take exceptions when it comes to your freedom, your care, your safety, your sanity. They don't take that lightly. So yes, of course, my spirit guides did not stop there. They further are educating me and informing me, because in this awareness of remembering, they're like, yes, the trees too, absolutely. Oh yes, fire, rocks are. And I'll bring you in on this insight. When I was in West Africa and the upheavals of being a refugee, maybe every 3 years, because the leader there could not figure out their stuff, so a person was a refugee in their own country, that wears on you, plus other instabilities around. It wears on you as a child. There was one place that I went to always to escape. There was a rock in the back of the house. I could sit in the shade. I specifically sought out that rock, and I kid you not, you've heard me say this before on this platform, and I'll say it again. I stopped telling the adults around me about what I was experiencing. When I would sit on that rock, I would just sit in the hot sun. They were like, the sun is hot, get out of there, you know, it's gonna burn you. I would sit out in the hot sun on the rock. Heat? What heat? The heat for some reason wasn't hot. It was just not what they were saying it was. I sat on the rock and I would have visions with my eyes open. I just needed to get away from whatever the heck that was happening around me. I would sit on that rock in the hot sun and I would have visions. So when ancestors, spirit guides now are, awakening to what is, they're like, yes, rocks too. And I was like, that makes sense. So that's why that was what that was. And I was like, I just got more excited, when they helped me confirm these experiences from yesteryears. Rocks too are. The sun is. The moon is. For the longest time, yes, the moon is an ancestor, And others go into a lot of elaboration, and what I glean from the situation is, of all these many types, different types, modalities, textures, and shapes, sizes, invisibilities, if you will, of ancestors, they interact and can appear to us night or day, and or depending on where we are in our journey, and they mean to give you a pertinent information that you need for that point, that phase you are at, that is absolutely crucial and useful to you. They will give you that, and then they'll go about their way. So yes, the wind is around me, and when I'm supposed to receive something and if I'm open to receiving it, it happens. The key is I have to be open to. The same way when we are eating, when you want to eat food, you have to part, right? You have to open your mouth to bring the food in. When your mouth is closed, food is not getting anywhere. It's closed. Food can't go in. So while I've been open, they have communicated to me, yes, the sun is, the moon is. I'm like, ha! I felt like that was something there because I'm like, is there a face on the moon? Since I was a child, I've been asking people since I was a child, and into adulthood, I stopped bothering people around me with that question because they got annoyed that they couldn't see a face, and you're like, I kind of can see it, but no, not really. So I stopped. I was like, I feel like there's a smile there. There's a smile there. There's a face on the moon. Spirit confirmed, yes, the moon is real. It's a guardian. She's real. There is life there. So I'm like, oh wow, that's cool. The sun is an ancestor. Spirit guides, ancestors further educated me on the fact that mountains, rivers, valleys, the ocean can be, they're ancestors. They are life. They are life beings. And Spirit further educated on the fact that spaces are life too. So there you have it. I'll stop it there. For some of you that are also informed on this topic, please feel free to share in addition, aspects, because I could go on. As it applies to the life that we lead and live, but I would like to engage with you all on this platform too. So please do share. What do you know, and what are you called to share about this topic as it applies to the many forms and ways that we experience spirit guides, and what are spirit guides? The list that I've put out here is just a tip of the iceberg. Just a tip. So thank you all very much for just tuning in and sitting with me in this teaching and discussion. Yeah, discussion, because if you share online, I'll be able to see it too and learn. May you be well in this time, and bye for now.